Hey, I'm here to talk about the third episode of Percy Jackson. It's different than I expected. It was hard to get a super strong idea of the way the show was going to be going just off the first two episodes. In ways it wasn't, but in ways it was. Just because there's so much they had to sell us on in such a short time. We don't know that the vibe of the first two episodes is going to match the vibe of the rest of the show. But it does seem the show is coming more into view now. My rule of thumb is that unless it's a super long, 23 episodes per season, 45 minutes per episode TV show, you get the vibe of the show after the first 6 or so episodes because they have to do a lot of tone setting. With longer shows, the beast is so large that you don't have the tone fully established even after 6 episodes, so I don't apply that to longer shows. But with this show, with 8 episodes, with approximately a half-hour format, it does seem applicable. And honestly, guys, I'm not feeling great. The vibe I got from the first 2 episodes was there's a lot of material to get through. It's the early episodes. They need to establish some key things. And also, they probably shot all this stuff first, so everything was still new. But now, of course, we're getting farther along in the timeline, and I'm kind of worrying. When I think about what makes the books so readable and compelling, even in mundane, normal moments, what I think of is how it's always lively and exciting and energetic. It was originally a series written for a child demographic and a tweenage and teenage demographic. And it was built to be high energy, and it was supposed to be about even, high energy kids who have trouble reading. And it was very high energy a lot of the time. But this version does not seem to really have captured that. And my first thought is, talking a lot is a skill for an actor. These are young actors, and they have child union laws about how much they can work. Don't go bagging on the child actors for sticking to union rules that allow them to still be kids. And I'm still just going to keep that, in my head. But I'm also it doesn't really feel like the books in terms of tone, in terms of energy, even in terms of characterization. And that doesn't have to be a big deal. Already I'm kind of thinking about, after the premiere, I was like, well, it's different from the books, but maybe we can think of the show as like an alternate continuity. We had the books, but we also had the graphic novels and stuff like that. And we can just think of, okay, so there was that version of the story, and now there's this version of the story, and it's a little different. Some of the details are different, some of the way things happen are different, some of the characterization is different. And I can, be satisfied with that. But I gotta say, I'm worrying about the vibe in general. I think I've said this before, but I think this show could be a tentpole for Disney if higher leadership is interested in putting that kind of energy into it in terms of money and resources. But what we've seen makes me worry that they're not doing that right now anyway. And having watched a lot of the series showrunners, John Steinberg's previous show, Black Sails, I've got to say, a lot of the day-to-day in this show seems to be reminiscent of it. And Black Sails was a very different type of show. It was essentially a period drama that just happened to be in a pirate setting. The focus wasn't on the action, it was about the slow, moment-to-moment character conflicts. It was about things like, can we negotiate the crew's trust, or can we mount an expedition, and things like that. And I think that works for that type of show. Like I said, it's essentially a period drama. But I don't think Percy Jackson quite fits that mold, and yet it's still approaching it with that same kind of slow, deliberate pace. And I'm not sure if that's Percy Jackson's strength on the page. But, like I said, we can't control it. They already shot it, they already edited it, they're already going to be releasing it. And I think there's always a chance for the series to grow and develop over time. And it's an elastic thing. It's in motion. And I'm in too deep. I'm not gonna stop watching the show or stop being interested. So, might as well try to have perspective about it.